Namaste, my name is Sanat Kumar. Welcome back to the Manana podcast. Manana is a Sanskrit word that means reflection or contemplation. In this podcast, I'll be sharing my deep, insightful reflections for you to contemplate and hence live a life of fulfillment. I hope you find great value in today's episode. In one of the episodes, I talked about faith, belief, and hope, and why it almost always seems delusional, but it is the only rational thing to do. Consider that a preface for this episode. And I still stand by that quote of that episode. In fact, I want to add to it and strengthen that truth. Hope is the only rational thing to do. But why? So that's what we are dealing with today. So when I was writing this blog on 4th February 2022, I was going through a rough time. I went through a phase, unknowingly. I don't suggest anyone trying to artificially stimulate this phase though. You should have seen your face, said my mother. Looked like a person under depression, said my sister. Well, I'll tell you how I felt. I think I had hit the most low level of hope, like the absolute zero temperature. This seemed like the absolute zero hope zone. Actually, after this, also, I hit that zone, probably even lower. Just recalling this is very tough for me. After that, I haven't looked back. I haven't gone to that state at all. I've gone nowhere near that. I'm very happy right now. And in that state, the only thing you feel is emptiness. Your mind is clear like an animal's, like you don't think, literally no thoughts passing by. I was surprised to experience this because my brain is usually busy with one or the other thought until I instruct otherwise. And also usually we are said thoughts are something that is making people sad. But in this state, you have no thought, but you are just sad. You're just empty, and your entire belief system somehow is absent. You no longer believe in anything, not even the most strongly held beliefs you had. Even the ones that your entire life's meaning lies on it, support, right? Even that belief system you cannot believe right now. And time doesn't matter anymore. You could spend hours sitting doing nothing. To listen to, it might seem like it's like a spiritually enlightened state. Anyway, I'll tell you my takeaways. The universe is designed in such a way that you cannot live without hope. Either you are pulled back to living a life with hope, or you may hastily decide to commit suicide. Either way, there won't be a long time when you're out of hope. It almost seems like in life, the dimension of time is intertwined with hope. So when you feel free of hope, it's likely that one of the causes may be that you felt like you were an anomaly, or that is, you feel the universe doesn't care for you, your thoughts, emotions, and you feel your actions doesn't affect the universe either. Because as I said, hope is intertwined with life. Once you detach from it, I think it's natural to feel that way because you're essentially being unnatural. You're acting like how an anomaly would, right? But the key to getting out of that anomaly problem is, at least for me, it was to understand that even though if you are an anomaly, you still get to choose. You get to choose to fight till your death against that assumptions or live without hope. And as I've already told you, how horrible it is to be without hope, and you'd rather not to choose the latter, right? And of course, there were some other takeaways that I consider personal, but for example, this made me see clearly the difference between Advaita and Buddhism, right? That is where the nothingness and the concept of Brahman merges. So I would like to keep those things personal because it seems as though I am just spinning stories to boast myself or put myself higher or special than others, which of course is not my intent. I realized that first when a person who I know asks sarcastically, "So what, you're enlightened now?" After that, I choose to separate my personal and general blocks. So this episode does not conclude with anything. Probably that hope is most important, and I know what it feels like to be without hope. So you can reach out to me if you are feeling that way. And it is a lie if you feel like an anomaly. If you feel like you're separated from the world, it is just wrong. You are part of life, and you feel hopeless because you think life isn't with you, right? Or you aren't life. That is very unnatural to think about. But yeah, I know how it feels. Just try to discard all those reasonings because they are not true. I hope you received excellent value in today's episode. To know more, head over to sanatkumarnebi.com, and if you haven't already, check out my book The Flower of Fulfillment. Thank you for listening, and I wish you have a great day.